Order of the General Operations Committee at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, August the 4th. So, Mr. Jones, would you mind saying the prayer?
Theme tonight, I guess. Lord Jesus, thank you for this evening. Thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for allowing us to represent the citizens of this fine county, Lord. I pray that we just do good business for the people today, Lord, and may we think of you in all things. Amen.
Can I, Mr. Mansell, can I ask to pray real quick, just real quick?
Yep.
I would like to put our hands on Mr.
Okay.
On him, put our hands on him and pray for him. I'll tell you what it's about, what he wants people to know. But I'd like everybody to lay your hands on him and pray. Dear Lord, I ask you in this moment that you give our man here, our soldier, that he needs in his life. And he needs you, and we ask that you present your angels around him, Lord, and ask them and yourself to be with him 3 or 4 days, the next month, whatever it takes. We ask for healing, and healing completely. And I claim that in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't include that. Thank you for doing that, Mary.
All right, we got the approval of the agenda. All right, is there any additions or anything? There you go. All right.
I got something, Mr. Chairman. Okay, I got something. You didn't vote yet, did you?
No, I was just getting a motion.
I would like to include in there just a brief discussion on what we could do to have a county picture made. I don't know if the county stopped doing that, but the halls are lined with years of county commissioners, and I don't know when we stopped, but it hasn't been talked about to my knowledge. So could we talk about that?
Sure, so you can add that under new business F, I think county and elected officials.
That would be fine, wherever it fits in the best, yes.
All right, we will have that under new business F without objection to the agenda. We got a motion, we got a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Do I have a motion for approval of minutes? Motion by Commissioner Miller. Second by Commissioner Klein. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Recognition of the public. Two up here. Call you up. State your name and address for the record, please, in 5 minutes. Mr. Mike McClard.
Not going to be very long tonight, but Mike McClard, 102 Tioga Trail, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Just talking about the Brown House and the Brown House. I think it's on there also about the approval for money for the bridal house tonight, and I'm fully in support of that, and hope you guys will be too. I think it's approximately $18,000. I think I didn't bring my notes up with me, but I think that's about what it is to approve to redo the chinking. I think we're taking out the old masonry chinking and putting in a more, what's the word, modern, I think is the word, type of chinking that would last a lot longer. So I really hope that you can push that through. And if anybody's never gone to the bridal house, go. They're going to be really, really nice. They once they have it open one weekend a month. And also, I think once every 2 or 3 months, they have a speaker come in on Sunday afternoon. And I've only been able to make it to one of them, and it was very interesting. And I'm sure last time I missed last month, but they were talking about Indian attacks on the settlers. So I'm sorry I missed that. But anyway, also about the Brown House, hopefully that is proceeding down the pike. And I know this committee will probably be changing up in some form or fashion. Hopefully that the new people and the ones that are still on it can keep pushing that down the road, because it's been almost 8 years since Mr. Brown passed away.
Over 8 years.
Yeah, and I mean it's still sitting right there, grown up in weeds. But thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. McClard. Next up is Cynthia McClard.
Cynthia McClard, 103 Tioga Trail, Hendersonville, Tennessee. It's been so long since I've spoken, I thought I would read the comments. Anyway, I just realized this is an anniversary for me. I've been coming to these meetings for a year. shock. I came in as a newcomer, not knowing what to expect, not knowing even what they consisted of. I came to the original meeting on behalf of the Brown House. What I found was $1.25 million budgeted for a park. Mr. Brown's will specifically stated his home and a park. His money was stolen, my opinion, $500,000 was not used on the home. His namesake and his dream was abused. The $1.25 million consisted of the $500,000 from his will plus grants, and that equaled off to the park. And I have the original project budget right here, the 1.25. This is obsolete now, this is outdated, but at the time, it intrigued me because as an accountant, I was looking at the numbers and I was going, $100,000 for an amphitheater, $48,000 for structures, $140,000 for parking lots, and it just went on and on and on, and totaled $1.25 million, which I was shocked, and no word, not a single word about the home. Mr. Brown's home. Anyway, okay, we're done with Mr. Brown. And I pray something gets done soon. But by coming to these meetings, I have found that there are good guys for the public to fight the fight at all costs. And then there's the bad guys. That no matter the cost, no matter the subject, they're going to vote no. And there are those in the middle, the wishy-washy people. And they will vote considering how a counterpart votes. Oh, if you vote yes, I'll vote yes, but if you vote no, I'll vote no. That's what I've observed during all these meetings. And I'm not talking about the meetings in here because this group is the best. I have nothing but good things to say about you all. You fight the fight. You stand up here for us, the public, and we appreciate that. On another hand, and I know I'm completely talking off scope, but the chamber meetings are probably the worst. The good, the bad, the ugly. And you know, Mr. Langford was talking about cell phones a while ago. Every time I go to a meeting, the chamber meeting, there's people on their cell phones, and they're scrolling. These people represent us. Do we have to teach them, do we have to treat them like teenagers and take their phones away? I mean, let's put something on a wall that they put their phones on there until the meeting is adjourned. That's my opinion. And I came into the original, the chamber meetings, the good, the bad, the ugly. And yes, I actually had to take notes. I've never taken notes before. I usually just blurt my words out. But do I ever want to be in politics after a year of seeing this? H-E-double-L hockey stick no. That's just me. As my dad used to tell me when I was a kid, you know, my sisters and I would fight. He goes, Cindy, always remember, you're a lover, not a fighter. And that's just me. I'm on the board of directors for children. I go to church. I love praise music. That's me. I'm not a fighter. But if I sat in your shoes, I would be a fighter for the public. That's why they're here. Anyway, just remember, at the chamber meetings, we, the public, we keep our eyes on what you do, how you vote, and your actions. That's what we do. You're looking at the other side of the fence. We watch y'all. We watch the people in the chambers. For us, if you're for us, if you're against us, we know. And now I'll lastly say a quote from To Kill a Mockingbird, which everybody probably has either seen or read, which I have a million times. Atticus quote, he said, "They're certainly entitled to full respect for their opinions. But before I can live with other folks, I've got to live with myself. The one thing that doesn't abide by majority rule is a person's conscience. Remember that."
I think it was hard. That includes other comments. All right. For the chairman, I had two items specifically. One, I want to discuss change of our meeting date for September 2025. Monday the 1st is Labor Day, so my suggestion is to meet on Tuesday,
Second.
at 6:30 p.m.
That's what the rest have done.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to change the meeting date. Get a second by Commissioner Jones. All in favor, say aye for that. Aye. Opposed? All right, so we're going to get that done. I did out here just an update with the Cottontown debris removal status. I guess I'm not surprised that the county mayor's not here. I was just curious on his attendance record. This is his 10th meeting he's missed out of the past 14 months as county mayor and commissioners in office. But this did pass unanimously from the Florida Commission, so thank you, Commissioner Jones, for fighting for that last Monday. To just have approved the county mayor to do this because he asked for this approval. Then he sent an email referencing, I guess, a resolution we did in 2023, and then he oversaw, did not choose to use, or did not realize that we did a resolution in 2024, rescinding the resolution that he was talking about. I had sent him an email, basically, and this is back and asking for an update of when he was going to have this done, and his response to me was he has not signed the resolution yet, so I point blank asked him, was he going to veto it, or was he going to sign it? He did not respond to me. That's when he sent the email out to the full commission, asking for the law director's opinion about the resolution we passed. And he referenced the wrong resolution, the latest resolution that we passed, talking about cleaning up the stuff in Cottontown, specifically on the Draper House and the old post office property. The last be it further resolved basically said that outside of this act, no additional county funds will be spent on subject property excepting for routine maintenance to the property and to mitigate hazards thereto, which includes dangerous debris that's on the property, mowing the property, because that came up, to remove a broken tree limb that was damaging the roof of the property. That's why Commissioner Klein brought this resolution forward, and the previous one rescinded. This was approved unanimously by the body last Monday on the July 28th. I just had this on here as an update since the county mayor, I don't know why it's making such a big deal about this. It literally, Commissioner Moss has confirmed that just, 2 or 3 county employees and a large trailer just to remove the debris. Make sure you have gloves on and have it on that to get it shut.
Go down.
Yeah, well, we might end up all doing that, but it's not a big deal. I don't know why the mayor's put up a fight, but I was hoping he'd be here tonight to give us a status update on this, but he's not. So I guess he either go 10 days or he'll veto it, and we'll see what happens just to clean this up. So I guess we'll figure out what we're going to do moving forward on Friday, probably this week, to know when the 10-day period has but that's all I wanted to give an update on that, or regarding that. I do want to say just real briefly, we're changing committees, and committees always change every year, but it's just been an honor and a privilege to serve with all of you guys on this committee, and I've never seen on my time on the commission a harder working group of commissioners to try to really do what's in the best interest of taxpayers with county property. I know my first term, the General Operations Committee didn't even meet, maybe 4 times, the last year, on my term, and that's in the middle of trying to do the courthouse project and some other big projects, and General seemed to meet. And of course, you saw how things got off the rails with the courthouse project, and way over budget. We had a lot of problems with poor project management, and things were not done correctly. So, or no project management quit, unbeknownst to us. Insurance lapsed for 2 weeks on that project, just because nothing was being communicated to the General Operations Committee. So I just want to thank you guys for going above and beyond in your scope of work and what you guys have done, and getting up on buildings, roofs, crawling under buildings, expecting stuff, field trips, creeks, we're getting walking through creeks in the rain with mud boots on, doing a lot. So I just wanted to add, the chairman's been an honor and privilege this past year, just to be blessed to serve with you guys, and what a phenomenal job you guys have done. So thank you guys.
It helps to have good leadership.
Likewise.
Well, it's all about teamwork. So, all about teamwork. So you guys have been an amazing team. So really appreciate you guys' leadership and doing what needs to be done. But that concludes my report for this month. Report of the Finance Director, Scott, Mr. Shamrock, the floor is yours. If you wouldn't mind running us through, if there's something, if you want to just run us through real quick through everything, and you guys can reserve your comments at the end and get in the queue, and then we can ask questions. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Try to order it, like, most of the questions are gonna be at the end.
Okay.
So Westmoreland, there's no change as of last month so far. We have a meeting tomorrow afternoon to go over all of the changes to the location and building. If there are any, I'll know more tomorrow afternoon as far as Westmoreland goes. Oak Grove, the building's pretty much up as far as the shell. They're supposed to have it inspected here soon. It should be ready for inspection by the end of the week. And they're getting ready to put the concrete pad on top of the Proceptor. Franklin Street's done, other than us waiting for the video of the storm line. It's just a third party that went out there to do it, so we're just waiting on that video. Courtroom build out. I spent about 2 hours with the design team 2 weeks ago, going through everything. We went through with the judges, went through an old, already finished courtroom and everything with the electrical guys and their engineers to make sure everything matched up in there. They had a couple questions that I got to send back to them and answer. But that's moving along smoothly. We're about to start having some pretty in-depth meetings between the county and the architect before we start moving forward. The broadband grant, we're waiting on CEMC at this point. They ordered everything for the Portland Wi-Fi. We're just waiting for installation on that portion. And then the other half of that is we're about to start working on the RFP for the laptops. The Hollows, the water main relocation is completed, and they're still relocating the other service lines. Hopefully it's done next month or so.
Total?
No. Then they start the storm water stuff for sewer. As far as the SWIG stuff, everything's pretty well in line in Portland. Should be done by October. They just finished painting the water tower up there, so it's been there. It's nice and pretty now. They just started the projects in Westmoreland, so that's in line. We just have to, per the state, have an inspection scheduled by November 30th, which I've already talked with engineers and everybody, so we're all on track to do that. The renovation for the General Sessions Court, I have a meeting with the sheriff and Judge Clinton on Thursday to start moving forward with that, and talk about how we're going to go about, because I think the best route that we're coming up with is to get the same architect to do both. It's potentially going to be cheaper to just do it all at once, because it's all right there. The next one is more of just a let you know kind of thing. So the SR 258 and Drake's Creek project, we just had from TDOT a change of project management in their side. So we have a new project manager on the TDOT side who's getting up to speed sheet on everything. They updated the estimate for the project and it increased a good amount. The county right now, and this is just the estimate, is responsible for just short of $1.8 million. However, after speaking with the planning department, they're supposed to go to the MPO to get the additional funding, where we'd only be responsible for 20% of the project, not the full 1.8. But this is just a more, like, this estimate's going to change back and forth as we go until we get to the construction portion. So it could go down and it could go up. This is just to let you guys know that right now it's increased. So we'll know more as we move through that. And then the big one that kind of caused a fire here in the past week or two, the health department. They got the building permit, they started grading and everything over there. However, when they did the demo, they hid the electricity for the stadium and some parking, I believe. I guess the school had ran a direct line to the health department at some point, and all of it was hooked up to the meter at the health department. And we're just looking for how this committee wants us to move forward with either fixing that or leaving that on the schools, because we don't know how long that electricity was hooked up to the health department. So I know that the county was splitting the bill for the electricity for that portion, at least for I don't know how long.
Got that one written down. Keep going.
So
If I could introduce
we
on that.
did.
Are you? I'm going to interrupt you. You got it?
It's directly related.
Okay.
So it turns out it was a direct wire into that, direct wiring into the health department. So what makes this, little powder keg is the fact that the health department's on the school property. So that's some things we're gonna have to take into account as we, make a decision on how we're gonna either sub-meter it, meter it direct, have them meter it, or run it the way it was before. So those are some things that this committee's gonna have to consider.
And there's a packet on the back. This is the email going back and forth with schools that Dustin has had contact with, going through everything, just to keep you guys up to speed. We did get a change order estimate from the contractor to fix the electricity issue. It's $10,008.01. If we did do it as a change order, it would come out of the
So you said, how much is this? You said, Scott?
$10,008.
Is that in the email?
No, it's not.
So that is what, relocate a line?
Yeah. It's to restore work to set school.
To make it what it was.
Right.
Will the county still be paying for the electricity, I guess?
Under this scenario, yes.
So what's the option of not doing it in this, where the schools have their own dedicated line?
Do not have that answer.
So, will we open up the questions on this right now?
Sure, go ahead.
So, in the meantime, is that stadium not powered?
I'll make a motion for discussion. So, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, good.
That is my understanding.
So, everything's on hold until we make a decision on where the stadium gets its power from?
No, we're still working on the health program.
No, with regards to nothing to go on there without electricity, like the stadium lights and everything.
I'm not
that's
sure if they hooked up a generator or whatever they're doing over there. I don't know the school's position on it.
School started
We're
today,
supposed to
right?
have a meeting with Kerry to figure everything out.
So how quickly do we need to make a decision on this? Tonight?
Probably sooner than later.
Because otherwise it's next month, and that wouldn't be us. It's going to be a whole new issue, introduced to a whole new community. So we need to make a decision tonight on what to do with that.
I make a motion that we separate the meters, that we have our own meters for the health department, and let the school do their own meters. That's my motion.
All right, we got a motion, we got a second.
It's either that or buy the generator.
Do we have any? We have a motion by Commissioner Young to, you said, restate your motion again, first Commissioner Young?
My motion is to sever the relationship and have their own meter for the health department, and the school have their own meter, so it's separate. There's no commingling of billing, and that's my motion.
I know I don't have a vote, however, I'd be a little
You
more
look-
specific,
You have
whether we're
input.
paying to fix it and separating it, or if we're just separating it and letting them deal with it, I'd be a little more specific.
I got a question on that, on how I can vote, because it may refine her motion, or,
Would you like to ask your question first?
yes.
Okay, good.
So, was there damage done that's gotta be fixed no matter who makes the connection, or is it simply the same just to connect it to one or connect it to the other?
They do not currently have power.
I know, but was there extenuating damage that was more than just a connection
There's still an
issue?
underground line. There's
Huh?
still an underground line to where the health department was, that was just.
So how are they fixing it? They're gonna have to repair that,
Well,
whether they connect it to A or B.
if they did it to the health department, they would more than likely do the temporary service like they would do for construction and have it hooked into there, I would assume. And then as soon as they put the permanent on the health department, put it all back on the health department, is how I would assume that they would do it.
That reinforces the fact that if we split it now, the school can get theirs fixed and be done with it, and the health department can get theirs on temporary, and they can get it done when needed at a later date. So I agree with her motion.
I just worry about who's, making
Is that
clear
your
who's
fund?
gonna fund it.
Is your motion that the school board bear the cost of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Klein.
So, I think there's a lot of questions here that, do we have temp power out at the health department yet?
Not yet, it's not set up yet, because they haven't even got the pad for it yet, they've just been doing.
I'm assuming this
They're
is,
going to.
this is 220 and not 480, or do you know?
I would assume it's 220 as well, honestly.
Yeah. And they must have 220 out there on that field somewhere. I mean, that's standard.
No, they don't have it included in here, but I can find out.
So, on the short term, they can use temp power for the, health department, or the health department temp power. They could connect into that. But I think.
Who's they? Who's specific?
The school. However, well, I don't know, maybe we have to be.
That wouldn't split with our motion.
Well, no, I'm just pointing out a couple of things here. That sounds like, what was that building originally, Mr. Hyde? The health department building.
It was built as the health department.
It was built as the health
They
department.
gave the health department, permission to build on the property without ever deeding.
Okay, so it's school property, but it was never anything but a health department.
That's all.
And at some point in time, they ran a line from
Health department to the
health
stadium.
department to the stadium, but we don't know exactly is it the lights and the scoreboard, or is it just?
It's like the stadium lights and part of the parking lot.
Is there a scoreboard out there too?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of power. Yeah, I agree with Commissioner Janung that they need to bear the burden of that. I don't know that we have a responsibility to run the line. Do you have a thought on that, Mr. Lawyer?
This is politic and this isn't a legal question.
This is not a legal
so-
question.
So we have a motion, we have a second, and the motion was to separate,
The power.
sources.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
The school board had established their own power to pay for it,
Yes.
and the health department is separate completely from the school board.
Keeps it clean.
But he doesn't wanna vote on that without including the fix. How do we fix the broken?
That is the
issue?
fix, they have to,
We just need to make sure that we're clear on who's, like, he's saying that
Yeah.
they're gonna fix it, and it's gonna be separate, so it's not our problem. So that's okay, but as long as,
This is what.
it's established that either the school's paying to fix it or we're paying to fix it.
That's what I'm saying, that needs to be included in the motion.
One more quick question, Mr. Chairman. A lot of the costs involved in the health department are paid by the state. Do you have any idea who pays the electrical? Is it split? Does the state pay the electrical, or do we pay the electrical?
I think, I'm pretty sure that we just pay the
We
electric.
pay the electrical.
But if we did do this as a change order on this project, which we don't necessarily want to do, we'd have to go to the state for approval to do it because it's state funded.
To do which?
To fix the electric, like if we were.
So
gonna-
either way, we gotta go to the state.
If,
No,
only if
no.
we were gonna pay to fix it.
Okay, well, that makes it even clearer.
So that makes
Let's
it even
separate it
better.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, okay, I'm ready
State
to vote.
project is separate,
Can I revise my motion?
is reinforced.
Can I revise my motion?
Restate your motion.
My motion is to separate the two entities for the power. We split that apart, and the school pays for their own fix to get the situation fixed on their end, and then the county does their thing. That's my motion.
Does that satisfy you? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it just makes it clear, so there's no discrepancy with
All
what's
right.
going on.
The motion is to separate. Commissioner Jones.
Is there, does the schools have it in their budget with, any capital expenditures or whatever to run that new line from the school all the way to the stadium? Is that gonna be a budget request, or do we care at this point?
I mean, the school has a lot of money, so.
I know,
They have a lot of money in reserves.
so they can run a line, that's not an issue.
Correct.
Okay,
So to restate your motion, Commissioner Young, it is to separate the two power sources so that the county is separate from the schools. The schools has their own power source for their own facility, whereas the county/state facility, only the county is responsible for it, and therefore that'll keep us from having to do any kind of change orders or delay the project any further by separating it out. It'll keep us on track with our timeline and not mess with anything, which is the most important thing. So that's your motion.
That's my motion.
We got a properly second by Commissioner Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries unanimously. All right, we have to answer that question for you guys, so you can report that back. That's Dustin. For that portion, the Hendersonville Health Department remodel. I think you guys were doing all that. Drakes Creek, so this is originally like a $2.2 million project where Hendersonville kicked in about $250 and the county kicked in $250. This was done at the request of the city of Hendersonville. So what is
I
Hendersonville
got a question.
contributing to this?
Right now.
So because you're saying the project's almost $1.8 million over the original estimate?
That's what so originally it was the 2.2 or whatever it was. Total. And
Of which I believe-
Hendersonville put in, I believe it was
225.
220 or some amount like that.
County and
And
city are
then-
splitting that.
Right, we were 10%, Hendersonville was 10% or whatever it ended up being. From that 2.2, I'd have to look at the numbers again, but the estimate is now $3-point-something million. But there's no additional funds in TDOT. So right now, it looks as if we are putting the bill for just short of $1.8 million. However, talking with the planning department, they just go, the way it was explained to me is they go to the NPO office, they kick in 80%, we pay 20%, and that's how it was explained.
What planning department?
How it was explained.
Sumner County planning.
So we're being asked to put in another $272,000 on top of the $225 we put in.
Just right now, because it's all an estimate right
And
now.
that's is Hendersonville,
I don't know if Hendersonville has been engaged on this yet, just because we're not to the point where it's, we're about to hit construction phase.
so
So
it's
this
just,
could change.
this is
Like,
not an ask for money right now.
This is
a
just,
made-up
hey,
estimate.
this is what it's updated to.
So my recommendation would be, this project is specifically requested by the city of Hendersonville. It's not a county-initiated project, because it's right there. It's to service your farms, which the city of Hendersonville annexed county land to build a mega high-density development
Autumn Creek too.
in Autumn Creek where it started causing these problems. Imagine that. And so I think I would want to make sure that Hendersonville bears the burden of this increase as well and pays for any. If this is like the total increase, in Hendersonville would pay for half of that. But that would be, I don't know if you make a motion for that. I probably will. I just want to make sure that any overages, I want to make a motion. Any overages that the county be responsible for, that the city of Hendersonville would bear half of that cost. That's my motion.
Second.
All right. Commissioner Klein.
Scott, what caused the overages? Is it just inflation?
Estimate.
Just, the estimate went to, so as we update the estimates, and like you said, it could go up, it could go down from here, we don't know.
Go down.
Value engineering.
You have to,
We have legitimate
there's
value
a
engineering.
possibility it would go down.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Chairman. So you said it went from 2.2 was the original cost. What year was that? Do you remember? Was it 3 years ago?
2021.
4 years ago. So 3 point something. You thinking low threes or?
December 2021.
Okay, so almost 4 years.
Off the top of my head, I believe it
Three.
was
Mid threes. So over $1 million increase in 4 years from having to sit on this project, just waiting on the state. From nothing that we've done.
They're working on, from the last time I talked with them, they're working on the right-of-ways. And they're working on, like, moving from, I think they just went into the right-of-way acquisition. Correct, I'll have to look at it, I'll let you guys know. I'll look in the portal tomorrow and so that you guys get an idea of what's going on.
So if the increase, if this motion carries through and we vote and pass it there, goes to the whole commission, it just sets it forth for whatever the increase is, that this is going to be the way we operate forward. But is there any trigger for if it exceeds a certain amount, the project gets put on hold? Are we fully committed to it already? What does the rest of the project look like going forward? We just plow ahead no matter what the cost is, or I don't know what's in motion, because it seems like nothing has happened yet in this amount of time.
Good question. I mean, I don't know if it's something that, county can keep on going on with it. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not intending for it to stop. I'm just curious. Citizens want to know, and when is it happening, at what cost?
We're almost 4 years in, and nothing's happened so far. I don't know why.
How do we get answers to that from?
We need to talk to Josh Sapp, his planning director. He's running point on this.
Okay.
So has TDOT said specifically what's the maximum they'll pay?
TDOT isn't putting any money more in it anymore. This is the MPO office is who they're going to, which is completely different funding, is the way it was explained.
What's the MPO office?
Yeah, no acronyms without explanation.
Municipal planning office?
I believe that is correct.
From the state?
Yeah. But TDOT and the MPO office don't work, they don't work in the same, so TDOT can't get funding from MPO, but we can go request it from MPO and then it gets applied.
So is
The MPO grant.
So is MPO said what the maximum grant is? No.
Metropolitan Planning Organization.
Part of what?
Metropolitan
Metropolitan
Planning.
Planning Organization. Okay. Thank you.
Other than just, there's a motion on the floor, we have a second to make the request Hendersonville continue to pay half this amount. Any more discussion on that, because there's no really action for us to take at this point, other than that, correct? So I just want that, as a motion to carry forward for this committee, that we're making a request to Hendersonville to continue paying half, since they asked for this project, not the county.
No, I think you're being generous, but I'll go ahead with that.
All right. Any other discussion on this one? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries unanimously. So we'll just leave that with reflection in minutes. Any other questions specifically, on the other items discussed over where we are? Commissioner Klein?
The renovation of the former General Sessions courtroom, are we allowed to be invited to those?
Do you want to go?
I would like to. I would like to be a party to that.
What time do you meet on Thursday?
2 o'clock at Church.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, what questions you asked that triggered that question? You're fixing to move on, or?
No, I was asking if there are any other questions on the rest of the items that Scott went over.
Yes.
Westmoreland, Grove, Franklin Street, courtroom build out.
Can we also be part of the courtroom build out? Great, okay, I would like to know about those as well.
Commissioner Jones?
Could you give an updated, Hollow's estimation of complete time? Is it something you have to work on, or do you know?
Yeah, I have to get with Marshall, get an idea.
Can you just put it out in an email?
Yeah.
Because you may not be reporting the same people next month. And then the other one I had was, you may have just asked this, and Commissioner Pine, I apologize, courtroom build-out, county and architect discussion, you said is getting ready to take place. Is that what you asked to be part of?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on what that discussion is about?
Planning, making sure that we're getting everything we need in the courtroom, so when we take it over, we can walk in and work.
It's
This is where we've already approved the architect, the money's already been allocated for the architect. RFQ's going out, the architect was picked.
We're gonna do the RFP. Once we do the RFP, we'll bring it back here, and then it'll be decided whether we move forward or not.
and it's a build-to-print job, so all questions should be already answered from the previous, right? There's not gonna be holes left, like, we didn't furnish it, or we didn't put the
No, I
plans
made sure
and
that all,
furnishings in it.
all stationary furniture and all that.
$2 million funds to get it.
Right, Commissioner Harrison.
In the budget,
Back.
the county commission just, I know it's not something on the budget, but, the county budget removed the $2 million allocation for this. So right now, it's just like architect, go out and bid for the RFP, for the proposal, and then the project stops. That's where we're at.
I am going.
We approved to go forward with the architect months ago as a committee, pushing forward. I mean, I was like, January, February, I don't know.
Is there a point in this then until the money gets reappropriated? Because everything's gonna change in the 6 months or a year or 4 years before it gets approved again.
I mean, the money's already been allocated, the architect's already working on it, and the RFP is gonna go out once they work with the architect, on the plans. They're gonna come together with the RFP is, that's gonna go out to bid.
Can you explain, the money's been allocated just for the architect part? Okay.
That was $50,000, so.
No.
It's 85 is gonna be total.
Yeah. So their fee was 85, but I think it was like 95 or 100 that was allocated for the architect, but yes, it's on.
For that, build out because of the snafu.
How long is that architect's plan good for? 60 days, 90 days?
The plan will always be good. The RFP will have to determine, usually it's 90 days is the price is good, but I might try to push it out farther.
Request for proposal?
Proposal from contractors to do the construction, try and hold out the price.
That's what I'm saying, if you hold out the price, there's a,
Usually it's 90 days, 60 to 90
so
days.
it can expire by the
Well,
time.
once the RFP comes out, there's nothing that precludes you from bringing it up on the floor and moving forward.
Okay.
So, that happens every month.
And the price is gonna be, like, I already told them, I said, I'm not doing any separate RFPs, because I know previously they didn't, they built the courthouse, and then afterwards, they put all the IT stuff in. I said, no, we're gonna do it all at once, you're gonna put IT in, you're gonna put all this furniture that doesn't move in, we wanna walk into it, and we can use it the same day.
I want to make sure that furnishings also, I think furnishings also should be included turnkey. I mean, I won't see a bill for $10,000 for plants afterwards, because all the other rooms have plants and this one doesn't.
$45,000 table.
Or tables, yeah.
That's why I want to bird dog it and be there, because the parking structure we forgot.
When the design team walk through, that's already complete.
Yeah, we already did.
All right, so that's where we're at on that. Any other questions on that specifically? Hollis drainage, you're gonna get back, if you don't mind emailing the committee this week if you can, on just my timeline, of that, or you can send it to me, I'll send it to everybody else what you're gonna do. So, other than that, any other questions? Commissioner Vaughn?
So, the Westmoreland EMS had to be moved lower because of water pressure, right?
Correct.
So now it's down closer to the telephone building that's right next to it. And so we've got a bunch of land up above that we're just gonna have to maintain. What kind of architectural changes can you just discuss slightly about that?
I haven't seen any changes yet. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have all the updated plans and specs.
Okay,
for-
obviously the engineering is has changed.
Are they gonna address the fact that there may be mudslides behind there because of the?
I promise I'll bring it up.
Commissioner, Miller?
Commissioner Denone brought all that in the beginning of the stages of the Westmoreland EMS station and said, how in the heck, I think that was her exact word. She's quoting Mary. How in the heck are they gonna get water up there? How the heck they gonna do this? How the heck they gonna do that? And there was absolutely no plan, and that's just the way it was gonna be, and that's how they were gonna do it, and they did it, but then they didn't because they couldn't. So once again, here we are, costing us more money because there's dysfunction and there's a hierarchy.
So, Scott, you're gonna get all the plans tomorrow?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm hoping to get them.
Can
But
you?
when I do get them, I'll send them over to you.
That'd be great, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Denone, for asking those questions, pointing out when you are playing, you explain the thing.
Oh.
And this is a fairly.
Called physics.
That's big. All right, anything else for Finance Director? We're gonna move on. Report to County Mayor. Again, County Mayor's not here, so we'll move on to old business. Item A, I'll just make a point for this. Where we are, I'll give an update on where we are on this. So obviously we had our ad hoc that we have standing that met multiple times.
This is the Latimer House.
Technically the chairman, I don't have to. I mean, I can introduce it, but I won't. I'll make a motion for discussion.
Second.
So, just so you know, Robert's rules, chairman can introduce something briefly before something's added. You don't need a second for that, just so you guys know for the future. So, with the Latimer House, Brown House renovation, we had our ad hoc, very successful, kind of, we pushed super hard. Citizens are waiting 8 years for this. Exemplary job on the stuff that happened. Commissioner Klein, thank you for all your amazing work working with getting people out there to try to move this along for the citizens, and did a great job on that. We got so far out ahead. We got way out ahead of what the county's process is, and so now we're having to backtrack because we just did things like you would in the private sector. Let's get an estimate. Okay, well, how much it's going to cost? We don't know what we do. And so we did that, and now we have all these things. We're having to go through the RFQ process. So we put that out to bid last Thursday on the county website. And so Monday, August 25th, is when the RFQ, and RFQ stands for Request for Qualifications, not a quote, for qualifications for an architect, meaning the architect's going to submit their qualifications project they worked on, as well as an estimated rough price, meaning their hourly rates and what they think generally it might be. But my understanding, the finance department doesn't necessarily pick it on price of what they quote, because if you're giving like basically one of the parameters was a not to exceed price. Well, nobody really knows until you get in there and look, and that was even said in our discussions. You got to start feeling this. One, the contractor doesn't understand why you have to have an architect. This is strictly political, strictly state law. This is a project you typically would not, this contractor would not do as an architect on this type of renovation. But because of state law, it's a county project, we have to. So what they're going to do is pick the architect based on their qualifications, and whoever submits. I mean, it's one person, 3 people we don't know that are going to submit. I know there are some parties interested in this project, so there will be a bid, or several at least. And when that happens, they'll pick it, and then we'll move pretty much the same thing we were asking the questions on the courthouse. Then the architect will work with the finance department, with Scott and Dustin, to come up with the proposal that will go out to bid. And we've already laid all the groundwork. We paid Chris Coker almost $5,000 to go out there and strip away from the house and the foundation of brick and get under there and let us know, here's what it needs and here's what we think it's going to cost. And they were very generous and even giving us overages of 10 or 20%, and not to exceed cost. And we still were about $70,000 under our budget, with worst case scenario pricing that Commissioner Klein and some of these contractors are going to give us. So we're really going in a good spot. So pretty much what's going to happen is, whenever the architect is picked, we're going to give them all the work that we did, and then they're going to work to take what we did and because we did a pretty extensive job on all the estimating and had several ad hoc meetings discussing that. That's going to get in, they're going to put together an official proposal that will then go on the county website again, be put out to bid. So you're definitely looking at September, the earliest. You know, I don't know, a lot could happen, you know, because of politics next month, to be honest with you. But I would like there's really nothing for us to do in this committee, and haven't been for a while, so I thought we had moved this to the ad hoc last month. My apologies, I don't know why we didn't. So I'm going to make a motion or recommendation that we send this to the ad hoc, because I know the last time we had a meeting, we had citizens here, people from historical societies interested in meeting and being a part of discussions for the finishing aspects of the home, of exhibits, walkthroughs, you know, type things like that. Work with community, citizens, historical societies, getting them involved with input more the finishing aspect. That would be further down the line once we get into demolition and then reconstruction. So I would recommend that we send this, remove it from our agenda, move it to the ad hoc, and let it stay there to get community inputs and suggestions. All right. It takes a long time, and we're usually talking about it for 2 hours every time we meet and people get input. It gives a little bit more of a free form aspect to citizens, so we get historical societies involved and meet and talk about it on a monthly basis and try to do monthly meetings. And I think it would be a good time now, since we're filing the RFP process. So we have a motion and a second to remove this from Jen's agenda and refer it to the ad hoc to work with finance through that process to then bring back.
Is there a date already set for the ad hoc?
We have a standing date of the third Thursday right now. That's a standing date that we just haven't been meeting because we met like twice and then 1 month, beginning of June, and then we were just kind of waiting until we got through this RFQ process for the past 6 weeks, 7 weeks. But now the RFQ will be open on Monday the 25th. Then we're at a place that we could even do a meeting that week if we need to, end of the week if we need to, because that's technically, I think we technically, well, the fourth Thursday, one of those. Okay, third, that's fine. So we'll coordinate. Yeah, so we'll coordinate to figure out a time. But that was the motion, refer this to the ad hoc committee until such a time is right to bring it back forward to the approval process that we'll need for the budget to get approved when the RFP's out. So, got a motion, got a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, we're going to remove that from the agenda, send to the ad hoc.
You said possibly 21st or 28th, possibly.
Yeah, we have a standing, I can't,
One of those two. That's fine.
The 25th is on the Monday.
I'm going to answer the question.
No, you talk offline. That's fine.
Well, no, you asked, so, right now.
Either one's a
Right now, the third Thursday of the month, we have a standing Latimer Brown House Restoration ad hoc from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. That's our standing, is the third Thursday. So that would be the 21st. I would not be right. So we could potentially meet on the 28th. You know, I might move it so we can call a meeting then. After that's open on the 25th, if we wanted to do it that week. So
That would be my suggestion, Mr. Chair.
and I'll email you guys.
We'll have the architects on.
Yeah, I'll email you guys because we can plan that in a week or two. All right. Item B is discussion for the RCAP building extraneous storage cleanout. Motion for discussion.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Klein, would you give us an update on that yet? What's where we left off last month? You were,
I have spoken to the 3 chiefs who have the most storage in there. Catherine Strong has by far the most. Mark Smith has the second most, and Eric Craddock has a pretty good amount in there. The rest of the stuff is like election commission, the mayors, the maintenance people, the planning and engineering. They have been cleaning theirs out, as has the IT department. So the vast majority of it will be cleaned out if we do it. That's the thing is Mark Smith, Catherine Strong, Eric Craddock, I don't have the people to do it. So we would have to either have the mayor get the maintenance guys or the inmates from the jail.
I know Commissioner Moss had comments on that from last night.
I know he did. He was a
Yeah.
stud out there.
He would be able to speak to that a little bit more authoritatively.
I think you need to get the inmates to do it. I don't think the maintenance guys
Yeah,
got time to do it.
we would probably need one maintenance guy, like you oversaw Mark Smith's, right?
Yeah.
And,
Well, it was me and Brian up there, we did that.
okay,
Yeah.
but most of the muscle came from those guys, right?
So everybody pretty much has agreed to move their stuff, they
Yes.
just need somebody to do it for them.
Yeah, they just
No
need-
problem, there's no resistance,
No
everybody's good.
Yeah.
So, I guess, the options would be that we could send a request to budget, to hire a moving company to do it, up to a certain amount. We could have, send a request, to the county mayor, which, we've had trouble with that, getting his cooperation on these types of activities. And so I'm not sure what the solution is.
Yeah.
Of hiring another company.
Yeah, and just to let you know, there's about 400 4-drawer cabinets, file cabinets that are completely full of paperwork.
That should be over at the courthouse, right?
Yeah, it's a major undertaking. It'll cost a small fortune to have a company come in and do it. But if we can't get cooperation from the mayor to expedite it, I don't know what else we do.
Commissioner Jones?
What do you think about just reaching out to Sheriff Craddock? I don't mind calling him and asking him and possibly meeting with Commissioner Klein or myself just to show him what needs to be done and see if he has the need to put some people to work. I know they have different projects they use trustees for, and he might be short on that and could use some work for them to do or something. And we just ask him if it's something he's interested in. You're more familiar with it. Would you be willing to meet with him down there just to show him through what could be done?
Absolutely.
And then have a representative from each of the entities involved just to maybe be there to point out or flag which items need to go, and we keep it all offline and not have to have meetings and discussions about it, just see if he's willing to
Do you want me to
do it on his own. I'm not gonna put work on you, but if you're willing to, it's fine. If not, I'll call him. If you could arrange to meet down there since you're familiar with the place.
Hold on a second, guys. Mr. Lawler.
You might want to definitely make sure that Director Jerry Scott's involved. He's over the inmates.
Okay.
Is-
The sheriff knows him, obviously.
He works for the sheriff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Point would be Eric, and he could talk to this.
But he definitely is going to need to be a part of the conversation
Sure,
from the
sure.
beginning.
Okay. Well,
And if you can keep this amongst elected officials, I think you'll get better traction getting this done. Then it's not a
doesn't have to go through committees
It's not a
and commissions.
commission.
Yeah. So that would be my advice. Can we just try to do that offline and do no action in committee?
Yeah, if you want to, ask Commissioner Klein to, let the minutes reflect that we're going to ask Commissioner Klein, I guess, to work, speak with the sheriff to see what we can do to have trustees come out to move that. I guess there would be questions of logistics of like, whose trucks, whose trailers, does the sheriff have that? Do we have these the counties? Would that create coordination? I don't know. So, Commissioner Mullins?
We got a big trailer from Marcus.
Yeah,
That's
correct.
what we used last time.
Is that what you guys got?
So, I guess if you want to just speak with Sheriff Craddock about that, and I'll make a motion to formally recommend that Commissioner Klein work with Sheriff Craddock to see about trustees being supervised, coming out and moving those things using county trailer, and to transfer that over to the court. You got a second, Commissioner Jones?
I would just like to also add to that motion, just to clarify, an amendment or whatever, to leave this on old business so it does come back for a report as to where it is next month for the next committee.
That's fine.
So, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes, that's fine. We'll keep it on old business, and Commissioner Klein can come back to this committee and give a report.
Okay.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Oh, it makes a
All
lot
right,
of sense.
item C is discussion about the Milledgeville EMS station reconfiguration. This is one that's been on several times. Basically, we're down to, real quick, I'm gonna have Commissioner Jones give a report, but let's go ahead and I guess make a motion for.
Motion to
Motion
suspend
by
the rules.
Commissioner Klein, second by Commissioner Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Real quickly, I do have it here in the packet, is basically the totals, again, of all of the invoices. What are we up to now, like 50 grand? Almost 50 grand in rental somebody in Louisville asked about this, recently.
I did. I was trying to get back to a text just so I could read you.
I know that their city hall is gonna be meeting, they're going through the architect process, I know they had met with Robert E. Hood, originally provided Mr. Klein, the estimate for reconfiguring that space to make it compliant, code compliant, so the EMS can get back into living quarters.
Yeah, so this is from Commissioner Dustin Darnall, City Commissioner of Millersville. And so what they had originally done in their budget was appropriate, he was thinking it was somewhere between $80,000 and $100,000 for both Station 1 and Station 2, Station 1 being the City Hall, that needed codes, fixes and stuff like that too. And then Station 2 is the one that we're concerned about on Bethel Road that we're trying to get fixed. And Station 1 came back more expensive because of the type of sprinkler system they were going to have to put into it, because it was different type of building, being more industrial. They had to have a different type of sprinkler system, way more expensive. The other one was considered more residential, so it was more cost effective. And they said since they appropriated the money together, they could pour more money into the Station 2 if needed. And so they didn't see finishing it being a problem because they had enough money allocated for it. So it is proceeding, but I think they're going through the bid process or something.
So we don't know, have a timeline. So I guess the question is, so my recommendation is either we do something with this or remove it from the agenda.
They'll accept a bid tonight, so they're supposed to be accepting a bid tonight.
At their meeting tonight.
Yes.
A bid for what?
Architect.
The architect, and then the bid we accept will be for the design.
So, so it sounds like they're moving ahead finally. We're sort of using, so do you guys, I mean, it's been mentioned before, county purchasing this trailer or just dropping and continuing to rent. So I'm just laying it before this body tonight is what is, knowing that Millersville is moving forward and that EMS hopefully will be in the next couple of months. Is it time to just drop this for discussion, knowing that hopefully the rental will only be a couple more months? I know we're almost at $50,000 so far, but it has been over a year and 14 months, probably 15 months. Was it April or May? I think April and May of 24, if I'm not mistaken, Commissioner Klein.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So it's been a long time.
The purchase of a new trailer, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Purchase of a new trailer is going to be a new camper. Is going to be $35,000, $40,000. The one we have out there right now is $65,000. Don't ask me why we went that expensive. It has 2 full bathrooms in it. It's a very unique
They don't use
camper. They only have water hooked up to it. So they specifically got 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and don't use them. And so we went with the most expensive camper. I have no idea why. We could have bought the adequate camper that had 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom that wouldn't be used for the $35,000, $40,000 range at that time. We could still buy one now. So we wouldn't buy what we have out there right now. It would be a $40,000-ish purchase for another, hopefully 3 months, but the way county does work, it could be another 6 months. I just don't know.
That could be another $18,000, $18,000 is another 6 months in real cost.
It's still a lot less than
Fine. So it sounds like the consensus is we just need to drop this and move on. Millersville's finally taking care of the problem that we brought this to.
right.
But the frustrating part is the rental would have been that much cheaper too on a lesser unit. We've been renting the most expensive camper you can buy.
That's not functional.
We're not using to its potential. I have no idea why we did that.
We didn't do it.
No, this committee did not do that. But this county did.
I mean, that was the county mayor that did that. I know that was his purchase, so. All right, well, I guess without any objection, I'm going to move that we strike this from old business. So, everybody, I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Consider that one done. Item D, discussion architectural as-built drawing for recovery court and sheriff department renovation of 117 Smith Street property. Motion for discussion.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Before you,
Motion for discussion. We've already voted on that last meeting.
do you want to leave it on the agenda to talk about,
No.
to follow up, see where Millersville is next month?
we just made a motion to kill it, and that was the motion.
Okay, I just thought maybe you'd get an update after Millersville, but somebody can always put it back
I
on.
mean, you can make a motion to
You can't send
reconsider.
an email.
You can make a motion to reconsider if you want to.
I would like to motion to reconsider, just because I think it's important to keep the public updated as to where we are with this, because we're still
We have a
paying for a trailer.
All fair say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Take a
Aye.
All right, is there a no?
Just please keep it on the,
All right, so
no, so
we that's dead. So without objection, we will keep item C on the agenda for old business for update.
just update, yeah. Update on where Millersville is.
All right. Item D, discussion. We have a motion by Commissioner Miller, second by Commissioner Klein. I'll say aye. Any opposed? Was this basically, getting the same discussion of your report,
Talked
Scott?
about it,
I mean, we already talked about this?
Yes.
Seems like we did.
Yeah, this is the meeting Thursday.
Did get a rough estimate, as you asked, from Wolves on just the floor plan for the first floor, and it was $6,000.
Yeah, so,
Having to do an as-built.
yeah.
So that's, okay, that's
But the RF2 is for everything though. Yeah, and so that's,
Well, RFQ will be for everything.
yeah, the RF2 will be for everything. So the meeting on Thursdays with the sheriff and with Judge Blanton to see exactly what they're looking for. Okay.
So the rolled as-built would be 6,000 to go with the things that,
That's just what the floor plan is.
just to get started.
So that's what they're saying, they can do the as-built for?
6,000.
6,000?
Just the floor plan itself.
Yeah, of what's existing, yeah.
Do we need to keep this on old business for any reason? Or can we move this to?
I think they've got control of it now at this point.
This
Get
is
that
already,
answered.
this has already been gone through budget and has approval from both groups, right?
Well, no. The Judge Blanton.
The problem is that they did not have the.
I know because the as-built question.
Correct.
But it passed, right? Well, this is about which version of it, or did that make it null and void? It's gotta come back.
I believe Judge Blanton, there's 600 and some thousand.
$632,000.
Is there anything that we need to do at this point? We've already approved what we need.
The sheriff, I think that got pulled back.
All right.
I don't know about the sheriff's side.
Okay.
I think there's nothing else for us. to
Judge
do on
Blunt's
this.
side, we're good to go. We're gonna roll with it.
And this is gonna be on your report, so. All right, so without objection, we'll remove this.
Okay.
Put it on new business or something new comes up.
Correct.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure we didn't,
We
didn't
can
take it off
bring
of
this
business
back.
to be continued.
We can always bring this back.
Okay.
But all right,
It'll
we'll
be
just,
on my monthly update.
so I'll just make a motion to move this to Scott's updates. I'll make that official.
Great.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And without objection, we are gonna remove this from old business. All right, item E is,
Motion to discuss.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'll just give a quick brief update. This is something Commissioner Miller brought to our attention last month. There was a life safety flooding issue right there in Cotton Town on Martin Lane. They actually had to do a swift water rescue on that road. Right down from this, the property that's in here specifically, the photos. So this is where, a large culvert, at least 4.5 feet tall, on the other side washed out the road. And so the water was actually coming up over the road. And we got a measuring tape out there, myself, Commissioner Klein, and Commissioner Miller a couple of weeks ago. And it was at least a solid 8 feet out of the creek bank, and probably a foot or two over the road, and the water was flowing in and washed that out from flooding in Cotton Town. Coming from White House somewhere. And I know the White House has put a moratorium on all residential buildings because of flooding, because of overbuilding, wiping out farmland. So topographically, it's hard to tell where the flooding is coming from. It was a very dangerous life safety issue. Commissioner Miller made the county aware of that, and because the residents called her that she has to do down there in Cotton Town. She had called the planning director and the highway superintendent to make them aware of the life safety issue, and they finally took action based on Commissioner Miller's recommendation. Persistence, I'll say. And there ended up being a swift water rescue that helped speed the process along. But long story short to say is that this problem has been resolved as far as we can resolve this. I called Toby after we met, sent the photos from Toby. We met with the homeowners there that's affected, where Toby's crew did come out and rebuild the asphalt and rebuild the roadway and their right of ways, and we're kind enough to put the fencing back up that was on the county right of way, but the property owner's fence out there that just keeps somebody going off on a ditch that washed into the creek. But there was also a lot of riprap or shot rock, big rock that helped support their driveway, support the road, and both sides of that huge culvert had washed. Even where the concrete, big 3-foot by 4-foot concrete piece of barrier that was helping shore up the road had washed probably about 30, 40 feet down the creek. So they came back and had to put, after we went out there, and I called Toby again to ask them what else they could do they were able to get a little bobcat in the creek, get back that rock that the county originally had put, to try to put it back, shore it up. It's not perfect, but they did the best they could, I believe, and the homeowner's happy, they're satisfied with what the county was able to do, since the county originally came out there and did that work. So, that is good news, but that problem is unfortunately going to continue to be ongoing as flooding in Cam2. It definitely is due to residential, and there's been no study or words spoken necessarily by anybody to say otherwise, contrary to what the county mayor said in his State of the Union address, whatever. But we're pretty good at flood mitigation plan. The planning commission that we got started from this committee this past year, going down and meeting and stomping around in the mud and the creeks in Cottontown 2 or 3 different times, several of us for hours. And we had TDEC down there, we had TDOT down there, we had the planning department down there looking at the problems and agreeing, yes, these are problems, and here's are some structures that are literally in the creek, these homes that are causing blockage. It's not other properties, it's not the Draper House property or the post office. It's literally like individual homes that have been abandoned that are literally in the creek. They were built in the waterway that are just debris is just blocking and causing flooding. So when we got TDEC down there, TDOT specifically, and our planning department, they all understood and agreed that something needed to be done, and therefore in the budget that passed was a money allocated to go towards this plan and even acquiring some of these properties that are in the creek that are actually causing the flooding. And these are not beneficial for anybody's political purposes to create greenways or green spaces or anything else. This isn't a pet project. This is actually mitigating damage being caused to this area. So, there's no other action for us to take on this, so we will remove this from the agenda, but I just wanted to have this on there as an update. So thank you, Commissioner Miller, for your hard work, and thank you guys. Commissioner Jones.
I just want to read. Was you first?
Were you with a few first? Okay.
Go
Good, ladies.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I had a question, because Sharon Moss and I were talking about it. That culvert's made out of plastic pipe, not concrete. Who put the culvert?
The highway department did.
The plastic culvert.
I think that's their new standard.
Commissioner Miller, go
So
ahead.
that really needs a bridge.
Yes.
But I was told that bridges are budget killers. And there's other places that have one-lane bridges that would be before this. Eventually, this needs a bridge.
It's gonna fail. Somebody's gonna die.
Well, it's already built.
Somebody almost did that.
And it's not the first time that people have been rescued out of their homes, out of their cars, because this area just continues to flood over and over and over and over.
There's a home that's there that actually built a wall, like a concrete wall around it. I should have put that photo in there.
Yeah.
We saw it to try, because they flood out, it was up to their roof line. This didn't happen 10 years ago.
This was
Did not
last
happen.
May of 2024. They had to be rescued out of their homes, not by the county, by neighbors, because there was no time for the county to get there. The neighbors had to go in and rescue these people out of their homes. So this is going to continue and continue. I don't know what the solution is.
A bridge, it needs a bridge.
It needs a bridge.
But
But
road superintendent said it's
it's a budget killer, and there's other places that need it more, but it is on their
list.
radar, not list, radar.
The area, it is a serious problem.
Yeah, because I wonder how many more of them are like that with the plastic.
That one's bad, but it is 4 feet tall.
4 foot diameter
Literally.
pipe.
Plastic pipe.
And it was overwhelmed by the water
Oh,
coming
yeah.
down.
It went over the road, it went about, it went 4 feet above it. Commissioner Jones.
guys. Thank you. I think it's Commissioner Klein, Miller, and Mansfield. Y'all went down there during the work day, so I could not go on that one, but I appreciate you guys going and fixing that. I've seen this, on the map where this is, and it is, right down from all the development that was going on in White House. And, yeah, it's directly in line with it, and and gravity-wise, it's in line with it too. I mean, there's no doubt that development, overdevelopment in areas in the county causes this kind of stuff.
Specifically City of White House for this one, because it's right on the White House.
Yeah, but the mayor said that Cottontown flooding is not being caused by overdevelopment, and that can't be true. We've seen too many instances of it. But I just want to reiterate what you said about that plan being hatched with us commissioners, boots on the ground, with the planning director and state officials standing in a parking lot viewing the things that were actually causing the flooding and coming up with a plan and putting money towards budget for the planning director to scope out these projects that actually would benefit from taking out structures that nobody was using anymore, that were dilapidated and years ago should have been condemned and probably have been built on the creek, because there's no codes out there. But yeah, I just disagreed with the mayor's email about that not causing the flooding. As far as the plastic pipe goes, that plastic pipe will last decades longer than that metal ever would. It's super thick and huge, and it'll last if the road doesn't get washed away around it again. So it probably does need a bridge.
All right, well, there's no action. Commissioner?
I had about a half-hour conversation with Luke. He's one of the neighbors up there that has been observed. He's lived there since 2018, I think he said, and there's been flooding, but it's getting worse. And he and I discussed, because I haven't been there when it's actually happening. He sent me some videos and pictures that I'll need to forward to all of you, but they're pretty impressive how much water has been coming down there. And I don't know, with the way that Martin Lane and all that funnels down, I don't know that there is any remedy except use the FEMA program to buy those people out of their houses. That was one of the things that he was asking about, because he said that one of the neighbors down there is trying to sell her house. She's not getting any nipples at all. Why would she? So she's a likely candidate for FEMA.
Real quick, so there's never been a flood study done by FEMA in that area, ever. So it's not in the floodplain. So when these houses are going for sale, it shows that they're not in the floodplain, so they've never been a study. So planning, I'm working with Scott Shudder, and we're working on that to get that flood study done in that area, so that it is. So if you're on Martin Lane and you're going towards, is it Bud Hollow, I think, or whatever that road is, if you're going, I don't know, I don't know this direction, y'all, that's why I GPS. So if you're going down that road, so all the houses on the right side are up on top of the hill. So their driveways wash out. So everybody's had to either blacktop or pave or do whatever to their driveway because they can't keep any gravel. Well, almost all the houses on the west side of the road are in a lower lying area, and that's what gets flooded and washed out. And then by the time you get to the end of the road, at that intersection, I think that's Bud Hollow, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, once you get there, you've got a creek on both sides. So you have a bridge, and all there is there is that bridge, and all that goes underwater. That's where the house is with the wall around it. Mm-hmm. So the first step is do this flood study. There's already money in the budget and planning, right. So that's underway. And then, the poor lady can't sell her house because obviously everybody knows it's going to be underwater the next time it rains. So.
Right.
All right. We still have something else now. I have on the agenda. So without any objection, we're just going to remove this from old business. So thank you for the update. Thank you guys for all you're doing. So
new business.
Yeah, I'm just making a note here. All right, item 10A 10A under new business, we have the Children of People Building, Resolution 2504-08, approving the sale of certain real property located at 139 Winchester Street in
Make a motion
Gallatin.
to approve.
Second.
So, and, is there any discussion? We do have, our Summer Prevention Coalition
That's
folks here.
exactly what they said.
Just making sure, but they did submit, they met on Friday. I got this to you guys, I emailed this to you as well as the handout. It's just their official ask. This is approved by opioid, it was approved in our budget. County Commission's already, I guess, pre-approved the intent to sell by resolution.
No changes, everything's same.
Nope, it's just, we're gonna send us the budget, so we got a motion, we got a second to send the budget, unless you guys wanna say anything. All right, so we'll give you opportunity. Commissioner Klein.
Mr. Sittler, can you explain one final time what the restrictions on that property are?
It had blindsided me. Little Scott here.
I'm doing this
Best
for the
of my
public.
recollection, it was health related. It has to be used in some capacity for.
You can't put condos, you can't put residential.
Otherwise, it's there.
To make a lot of money.
I believe it was the will of the commission at the time it was voted on that there be a reverter in the deed, that if it's not used for that, then it would revert back. And it's really not us just picking this reverter. This is a continuation reverter that originated before us.
Right here, first order.
I'll double check.
Which says this is not used for public health purposes, such property shall immediately revert back to Sumner County, Tennessee. And that had 23 votes, unanimous vote, County Commission on April 23rd this year. So
That's for the record, for the public to understand that this is not a way to funnel the property to some developer to make a fortune on it. This is going, as long as it's used for health, they can own the building. If they,
it reverts back to the
it
county.
reverts back to the county.
If it's not used for public health purposes, it goes back to the county.
Okay, great.
That is the resolution.
And this is front loaded for budget, if you can make sure of that. And, so it should hit the commission this month so that we can get the transfer going.
All right, so the motion is to approve and send the budget. We have a second. All in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Any opposed? All right. That passes the budget. And that's removed off the business. All right, Bridal House, item B. I just brought this back because we actually passed this last month to budget, and it didn't end up on the budget agenda. So I just wanted to make sure, and also wasn't in the agenda. It was something that Commissioner Klein actually added to the agenda after the fact. So, for the sake of redundancy, I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
Motion to approve.
Is there a reason it wasn't put on budget?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Go ahead again. I mean,
Okay.
you can ask the budget chairman Schoaf about that. But we passed it last month, so it should be on the agenda when it comes out. And it's not, I'm gonna have to ask them to admit the agenda and resend it out.
You got a second?
Yeah, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that carries. Move your budget.
I will call Commissioner Schoaf and make sure he gets it on the budget.
All right. Historic Trail, this is something we passed last month, and the commission removed it from the agenda last Monday, the 28th. So we are bringing it back to send as is back to the full
Motion
commission.
discussed.
Motion to
Second.
discuss. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No. No discussion.
I had a question.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Just as a refresh,
Go ahead.
sorry, as a refresh, we passed something with a contingency on it. Is there, I thought we didn't pass because they were still trying to figure something out.
Go to page 99.
Yeah, it was already
Read the
ready.
resolution. We already passed this last month.
I don't know why it was taken off and why there was controversy. I was trying to catch up with all that.
Well,
I think you know why.
but, so, basically, the intent of this resolution is that all literature to be installed shall have prior approval of the Sumner County Commission. And this was at the recommendation of these people, because that's what they said Hendersonville did, BOMA, is before Hendersonville agrees to any material being on their portions of the Greenway, that BOMA has to approve whatever those books are. And that was, so that we're doing the same thing in the same spirit of partnership, that all literature to be installed shall have prior approval of the Sumner County Commission. So this is what whenever this comes back. Because the county mayor asked this to be brought forward. We started questioning what kind of books will go on there, and the county mayor asked this to be withdrawn.
Well, if this makes it,
So I want to make sure when it comes back before the county commission, we've already passed this.
okay, I understand all that, but if this makes it to the agenda this time, next month, I would like there to be discussion as to not just why to keep it on, but why to take it off. Nobody ever talks about why they want to take something off of there. I would like that to be done. I mean,
I can't make that happen, Tim. I mean, you're asking a lot of,
I'm saying things publicly
okay.
because I want people to hear them. I want good conversation to happen around this, and I want it to air it out in front of the public, is why I'm asking it. Yes, I know why, but the public doesn't know why. All they hear is item number 1, 2, 3, 4, take it off the agenda, and nobody knows why. I want to give it the light that it deserves and let the public see that people don't want to talk about certain things that should be obvious to a 75% conservative county.
So here's how that's going to happen. We have a motion to discuss.
I'm going to make a motion to approve. Drop my hand up.
We have a motion approved, we have a second. I'll go ahead and answer your question. So if the commission tries to pull this from the agenda again, which seems habitual, is that you get the queue and discuss it.
I understand.
Just the merits of why it should not be pulled.
I understand.
I mean, that would be my recommendation based on discussions we've had in this committee of what I just said, why we think it got pulled.
I get it. And again, to reiterate, if I didn't ask the question, I wouldn't have got to say what I got to say.
Yeah, so my recommendation, hopefully this would be controversial, since there's another municipality in this county that actually is already doing this. We're just like almost following suit at this point. Not that we really want to follow suit what cities do, but like, okay, there are some good ideas out there. So
Sure, so no brainers.
we got a motion, we got a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's going to move this to the full commission. Again, the second month in a row. All right, item D is make a motion for discussion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This is for the vacated Gallatin Old Courthouse at 100 Public Square. I asked the county mayor last month from Gov Deals. It did take us, I don't know, 4 or 5 months to get the county mayor to do the inventory. I guess first, you guys asked him to do the inventory, and he said he told you had to do it, and then we're like, well, we can't really do it. So we went through the process here of several months of just asking him to remove stuff from that building. He said he does not have a set date at this time for this. The first step of this is, ironically, I saw an article in the paper last year about this being discussion. I know citizens in Gallatin are interested about this property, the old vacated courthouse. Right now, we don't have plans. That's why I kept on putting it on the agenda, so we can be good stewards with this building, not let's sit there and rot, and let's do something with it. Crazy enough, it took us 4 or 5 months just to get this stuff started to clear out. We went and toured this building last October.
Actually,
So it's almost
cleared out. I started to clear it out before the items in inventory, just to correct you.
Well, yeah, they just started clearing out some stuff before the items were inventoried. They didn't follow, the county mayor did not follow our policy for putting things on our interdepartmental list to see if other departments wanted stuff. And ironically enough, when this was the gut deal, some items did get pulled from the floor last week because another department wanted some items out of this building. Thank you, Commissioner Klein, for bringing forth that policy a couple years ago for that use. And so it's in effect, and it worked. You pulled something off Gov Deals last month when the commission approved it. So we're still in the cleanout phase after touring this building last October. So for the public that's interested in this, we've been trying to clear the junk out of here since last October, and we still don't have the junk cleared out. So I can't give you an estimate on what's going to happen in this building or discussions, because no discussions have happened outside this committee. And this committee discussions would need to take place in this committee first, as far as like ideas. You know, it's a county-owned building. I don't know who wants to make claim to it for offices. I've heard for judges, for lawyers, or renting it out, leasing it out, renovating it, you know, turning it into office space for the public, selling it. There's been a lot of ideas I've heard roughly over the years, but nothing concrete. So this is on the agenda so that stuff can continue to be discussed of how does the county want to utilize this building, which is a beautiful old building, has a beautiful courtroom in there, that was Chancellor Oliver's, I mean, it's not the original structure, I think it was built in
39, 40.
So it was original burned by fire, but it's still it's a 100-year-old building, it's a beautiful building, and it's kind of the centerpiece of the square. We definitely want to do something beautiful with it. I think, you know, there's things we can aspire to that are beautiful and bring creativity to the community for a multi-use space. People have a lot of ideas, but whether that's the county sells it, the county leases it, there's a lot of options the county can have for that space for it to be used. So I'm reticent to use the word public-private partnerships. That really is more of a bureaucratic, even I've heard it called modern fascism when you speak of public-private partnerships. And because what it creates a bureaucratic state that gets outside the electorate. And so I'm definitely reticent on anything, my personal opinion, to do anything, bringing in, either county takes it full responsibility or we sell it or allow private entity to take full responsibility. But I don't think it needs to be joint, in my opinion, because of the problems that it causes, and the bastardization of the process, in my opinion. So, but there's not much, but that's the update, as the county mayor is yet to remove the items and did not have an update for me.
And just to remind everybody, the first thing that has to happen is all unfastened fixtures and furniture need to get moved out. Then it needs to be cleaned out down to its bones. And when I say bones, I mean the columns, the original walls. There's a lot of ad hoc walls that were built. Drop ceilings got to go. And then when we look at the structure, you know, originally the heating was a steam system.
You know, we went down to the board.
And, you know, that's asbestos coated water pipes and stuff. And so there, you know, at the point we get things cleaned out and all the T-bar ceiling and the carpet and all that garbage removed, then we need to go in there with a real space planner and try to figure out the best and highest use. I had about an hour-long conversation with one of the constituents in Sumner County who's a space planner. She's done lots of this kind of work, and she had some great ideas of what we could do with it. And that would be a person that would be somebody good to allocate some money to do some research, figure out the highest and best use. But yes,
bring back some options to the county commission once we get rid of all the 1960s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, the bad paneling, the
drop
ceilings, all of that stuff. Get it down to a point where we can now measure it, do an as-built of it, see what structure has to remain to support the roof and the floors above. And then we need to talk about, you know, there's that fabulous map on the one floor of all of Sumner County. You don't want to lose that. I got to tell you that courtroom that was, I think, Judge Thompson's is just fabulous, and that could be used.
Brown was in there too.
Was he?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool room. I know a lot of kids have a, it's their, yeah.
That's some,
mock
trial. There, underneath all that, there are some, springs, you know, there's deep springs that come up.
Oh, the springs.
And then there's some tunnels.
Well, we had some springs that was costing us about $1,000 a minute or something last year. Part of the leak with the water department.
Now, I don't know if the jail, there's part of the jail is still down there, but in the very bottom, but they used to transport, so there are tunnels, I think, from what I remember, there's some tunnel systems under there, and there's some, wet weather springs that come up through there, because it used to come up, the depot and the jail, or the courthouse are on the same wet weather, and it would rain, when it would rain, the water would raise way up, and we had to have sump pumps and all that in the depot to keep the water from flooding the building, and that's the same thing at the courthouse.
We do know that the capstones, we're not sure where the capstone is when they laid,
Time capsule? The time capsule.
Yeah, for the, in probably the capstone. When that time capsule, it could be down in the bottom portion, we just don't know. But I did not see tunnels when we were down there. We did go to the boiler room,
Mhm.
and saw the chute for the coal they used to use for that,
When I first moved to Tennessee, and I came to Gallatin, which I thought was I went back in time. So, the side, there was a time, I could swear there was a time capsule. If you're looking at the building straight forward, like if you're on Main Street and you're looking at the building, on this side, I could swear there was a time capsule that was right in there. I don't know what
That's where
happened.
the cornerstone is, but
on the right side or on the left
on the
side?
left, if you're
This
looking at
side,
it.
on the right side. I could swear there was.
We were looking at you think of the inscription, and we're on the outside of it, and we're looking.
This was like
That's
a,
where everything was on
this
the
is a-
cornerstone on the left.
this is a thing that went up like that.
I'm not sure, but there's a lot, I know there's a lot of public interest, I've seen a lot of social media comments about what happened there with that building. So we don't have plans yet, just for let the public know. As Commissioner Klein stated, we've just been in a almost 10-month process, or 9-month process of just trying to get the building cleaned out, deal with it, and start ripping out the extraneous information and get to a foundation with a plan. So, I mean, I say we keep this a little business, keep this discussion going, because this is of public interest, and we need to be good stewards with this property and to move forward with it. But it's just, we're out doing things one step at a time, and it's very slow. It's just, the wheels of government move very slow. Commissioner Hyde has aged greatly, just in 4 years. That's true. So, all right, we'll keep that on old business. Any other discussion on the vacated old courthouse or plans or anything related to it? All right. Just so that I can see it. Item E is the surplus gov deals.
One question on that, let's discuss.
Got a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, what's your question?
Just a quick question, there's a safe on here. Seems like any and every department could use a safe, why would we?
Did this go to our, county policy?
It was on the county surplus system for 2 months.
Okay, then that's.
Okay, never mind.
Medic pays, so, like a finger.
Do you know what that is, medic?
This is all for me, or, right?
Yeah. Like, it's important, medication.
So it's like a specialty kind of thing, or something like that, okay,
This-
never mind.
It was on the surplus site.
Yep, I'm done.
Have a motion to approve this.
Second.
We still have one more item tonight, and we're not done yet, so.
We have enough.
So, all right, we're going to remove item E. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That'll go to full county commission. Item F is what?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
So, we're it's going to vote on this list of government items.
It's going on the improvements.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, aye.
All right, unanimous approval.
Okay.
Item F, Commissioner Clark, we got, what Commissioner Jones asked to come with the county elected officials photo. So you're talking about the photos out there, all the elected officials kind of,
Yeah, I don't know if at some point in time they stopped doing it, or if they're current up to ours, and we just haven't talked
Mayor
about it.
Holt was pretty good about doing that within the first 6 months or a year of the commission's term. County Mayor Holt was pretty good. I mean, he and I obviously didn't see eye to eye on anything. But he did do a good job of at least putting stuff like that up. And just taking care of the small things on inside of a building, like pictures and photos. You know, I guess as the Bible says, give honor to who's honor is due. I'm not sure why there's not the photo of all the elected officials that should already be out there.
I brought it up to just ask the question, what is the proper procedure to get it done? Is it the mayor's office?
The mayor's office is supposed to do it. I mean,
Can we
that's,
just ask?
well, can, or you can make a motion to Commissioner Miller, go ahead and get you.
I should tell you, then they asked us all to come do a picture the first night, I think it was the first
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
So that they could get it, our photos for pictures. So I make a motion to do it.
I'll second. Well, to ask,
However,
can
they have
you do
it
it, or?
Very big. Well, I guess the question is who is going to.
Statutorily, I'm prohibited from, participating in that kind of measure.
So I guess the question would be who would be responsible for taking the county photos and replicating it, getting it framed and hanging it.
Was it Miss Templeton, was Carolyn Templeton involved? She was involved in all that.
Clerk's not involved in that.
Cost money.
I mean, that's technically, in the past, the mayor's
Or in
office.
the mayor's office, let's
I
just
mean,
say that.
so,
Is this some kind of resolution that the commission has to approve to do?
no, it never has been,
Never happened.
ever, in the history that I know of Sumner County.
So can it be just a request from this committee to ask the mayor to do it, or give us a timeline?
Yeah.
How about give us a timeline on,
Well, every time we ask something in the committee, we get shut down.
then I think it
We
needs
have
to
a
go to,
resolution
I think it needs to go to resolution.
Okay, let's, so I guess, is your motion to,
That's my motion.
Term,
Yeah,
I'm
do a
second.
resolution that
be
you
a resolution to
get.
go to the full commission just to take the elected officials and do the official portrait, split it out in the lobby?
Yes,
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
that's your
I
second.
mean, I'll go to Michael.
How did I, Michael?
All right, well, that, we have a motion to send that to the full commission in a second. Ms. Lauder, if you have a
Are we
question?
just gonna make use of this resolution and say from this point forward on the first meeting of
You have 6
every
months.
newly elected
Yes.
commission that this
Let's
occurs?
make it bigger. Yes,
Yes.
I like that. Since it was an oversight this time possibly, we'll just make it the first.
So, what was your suggestion?
First meeting.
Recommendation?
It was that, every 4 years, that whenever a newly established commission's voted in, that, by the second meeting of that term, that the pictures, I mean, I don't know the mechanics of what y'all want, I wasn't participant.
Second meeting, you know, Mr. Holt did it within the first 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
You know, my first term. In 6 months.
Well, we took the pictures right away, we'd say
The
6
first
months.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so, how about within 3 months?
Okay.
So,
the third meeting of the full commission on the new,
it's a request basically that the county commission approve, the county elected officials, which is all of them, all the constitutional officers, including the commission, for official portrait photo, be instituted, however you want to say that. I don't know, it's just such a ridiculous thing. It just feels silly having to do this. And within the first 3 months, a new commission being seated moving forward. But this be done immediately for the current commission and moving forward within the first 3 months of a new commission. Is that what your recommendation is?
Yes.
And it needs to be front and center where everybody can sit and not in the back hallway.
That's just gonna take certain commissioners and put them in the back hallway.
You want me to put a dress code in here too?
I was gonna say, after I know.
too late for that, it's too late for that.
Okay,
Pictures are taken
are
already.
you clear on that? Are you clear on this?
You get the gist of it, right?
Motion will be on the agenda.
Can that be a difficult asking this basic request?
It's ridiculous, I know. So, all right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, before we adjourn,
Okay,
Commissioner
I
Miller
just
has
want
that
to tell everyone and the people in August, Friends of the Bridal House is having an open house Saturday, August 16th from 10 to 3. So if you haven't been to the Bridal House, go check it out.
Saturday, 10 to 3.
Saturday, August 16th, 10 to 3.
Well, I know that you guys are not ready for adjournment. So is there anything else you want to
Motion
discuss?
to adjourn.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.